Hi everybody, happy to meet you again in this module, Basic Baking. Consumption of cereals has been an integral part of human civilization since time immemorial. Cereals cooked in different ways reflect the progress of mankind. Baking as it is known today was introduced in India in 18th century and was confined to the section of the society. However, nowadays because of awareness, baked products such as bread, cakes, biscuits, etc. are consumed almost in every household in India. After learning this session, you will be able to describe the meaning of baking, understand the changes happening during baking, and to learn the preparation of different bakery products. Before going into this lesson, let me tell you what is baking. The changes undergone by a dough or batter as it bakes in the oven by the hot air is called baking. Hope you know the difference between dough and batter. Dough, it will be in sheeting consistency, whereas batter will be in pouring consistency. This is the major difference between a dough and a batter. Some examples of baked products are biscuits, cakes, puff, bread, bun, soup sticks, cookies, macarons, pastries, pizza base, etc. Changes takes place in baking. Now let us see on this. That is the formation and expansion of gases. Some gases are already present in the dough, as in proof bread dough and in sponge cake batters. As they are heated, the gases expand and leaven the product. Some gases are not formed until the heat is applied. Fast-acting baking powder form gases rapidly when first placed in the oven. Steam is also formed as the moisture in the dough is heated. Trapping of gases in the air cell. Gases are formed and trapped in a network formed by the protein in the dough. These proteins are primarily gluten and sometimes egg protein. Without gluten or egg protein, the gases would escape from the product and the product would not be leavened. Here I would like to say what is gluten. Wheat protein, it is of two types, that is soluble and insoluble. The insoluble fraction of gluten, that is insoluble fraction of wheat protein, is called gluten. When this flour is moistened, the gluten development takes place. Gluten consists of gliadin and glutenin. This gliadin is responsible for the elasticity of the dough, whereas gluten is responsible for the strength of the dough. Hope you are clear with gluten and the components like gliadin and glutenin. Coagulation of protein. At the right temperature of proteins coagulate or solidify, giving a structure to the baked products. Hence, maintaining a correct baking temperature is very important. Evaporation of water. Moisture in the dough evaporates during baking process when heat is applied. Melting of shortening. Different shortenings melt at different temperature in any of the baked product. As they melt, they surround the flour cells and make the product soft. Browning of surface and crust formation. Browning occurs when the sugar caramelizes. Hope we all know what is caramelization. Other than sugar, milk and egg also helps for the browning reaction. Now, let's study about the ingredients that are used and its role in bakery. Flour is the major ingredient. In other words, flour forms the basis of almost all the bakery products. Flour is the foundation for bread, cakes, biscuits, pastries and cookies. Gluten, a protein present in the flour, plays an important role in the formation of dough. Flour gives structure to the product. Yeast grows and releases carbon dioxide within a dough, and then it is responsible for the structure of the product. The flour should be tested before using for any kind of bakery preparation. This is very important. Fat is one of the key ingredients used in making of bakery products. The role of fat is, it acts as an enriching agent. It is used for the lamination of various dough, especially egg puff pastries, and it gives color to various pastries. It acts as an emulsifying agent. It provides softness to the products, and then it gives volume to cakes and sponges. As that of flour, leavening agents are very important in the baking process. Without leavening, we cannot imagine a bakery product. Baked products made are light and it is easily chewed because baked products are having some porous grain structure. This is because of the leavening property. The digestive juices, they come in contact with the food and makes it easily digestible. Baked products made with leavening agents are more palatable, that is more acceptable, and it is appetizing than those made without leavening agents. The leavening of the baked products may be brought about by 4 general methods. The first method is by means of mechanical, that is by the action of creaming, where air is whipped into the shortening and sugar during the creaming process and it expands when the heat it is applied in the oven so that it gives more volume. The second method, by means of eggs. We all know that when eggs are beaten, they become fluffy and foamy. This helps to leaven the product. The other way of leavening the product is by means of liberating carbon dioxide inside the dough, and then this action is done by the yeast. For example, in bread making, yeast, by the process of reproducing, it produces more of carbon dioxide and then it distributes each and every pocket of the cell. And the last method is leavening by the action of chemical agents, that is chemical leaveners. The best example for this is baking soda, baking powder, baking cream and ammonium carbonate. The next ingredient is sugar. Provides sufficient food for the yeast and it produces carbon dioxide. When the yeast reproduces, it takes food as sugar and then only it releases carbon dioxide. Because the sugar is hygroscopic in nature and it retains moisture and it helps to keep the product fresh. It imparts golden brown color to the product. It improves the taste and flavor of the product. Salt, though it is a minor ingredient, it helps for the gluten strengthening. It imparts taste to the product. It is also one of the most important constituent to bring out the flavor of the bread. Even salt is hygroscopic in nature. It helps to keep the bread or any other bakery product moist and fresh for a long time. Salt enhances the color. It acts as a preservative. It controls the action of yeast, that is growth of yeast. The next ingredient is water. Sources of moisture which strengthen the dough. This is the main source and helps to mix and dissolve the ingredients. It gives rise to the sponges by changing itself into a steam. It gives volume in the production of breads. Coming to eggs, it acts as an excellent glaze for all the baked products. That is, egg is coated on the top to get a particular color. It is a very good moisturizing agent. It coagulates and gets right shape in the baked product. It is an excellent binding agent. Nuts. We all love this. Though it is added in very less quantity, a variety of dried and preserved fruits and nuts can be used in bakery products to give different type of flavors and finishes. It is usually necessary to wash the nuts or dry fruits before use with a liberal amount of water. Then it has to be dried. That is very important. Care must be taken so that the dry fruits, it does not absorb too much of water and become soft. After draining, the fruits or nuts, whatever it is, it has to be added to the last stage of mixing so that it won't damage and it won't discolor the product. Flavors. Flavors, it may be defined as the sensation of smell and taste mingled together. Flavor is it is a very important ingredient which helps the baker to add uniqueness to the product. Appearance may be an eye-catching factor in the first sale but the remaining sales depends on the flavor. Next, going to color. The use of color is important as the use of flavor. The eye appeal is enhanced by the use of color. Color should not be added where the processed recipe has ample ingredients present to give the product the desired color. Spices, though it is a very minor ingredient, it is used in small quantities in the bakery products, but it is quite important ingredient. Even small quantities, it improves the eating quality of the product as well as the characteristics. Now, let us take a look at some of the popular bakery products and its constituents and functions. Bread, it is one of the most popular and basic product of bakery industry. Bread, it is fermented product obtained by the fermentation of the dough. By the action of yeast, dough is fermented and it is baked at higher temperature. The ingredients used for baking bread are wheat flour, that is refined wheat flour, yeast, shortening agents, that is fat, sugar, salt and milk. Here, let us study in detail about the preparation of bread. Bread is prepared in 3 stages, that is the preparation of dough, the fermentation of dough and baking. Preparation of the dough, in that the common methods that are used in the preparation of dough are straight dough method, mechanical dough method and sponge and dough method. In straight dough method, this is a single step process in which all the ingredients are mixed together in a single batch. Mixing is continued until the dough attains the desired smoothness. That is, it should have the desired smoothness and elasticity. The advantage of this method are, it requires minimum labor and less time taken for the fermentation. Also, it gives a better flavor. In the straight dough method, it contains 2 stages, that is formation of sponge and the development of dough. The second method of preparing the dough is sponge and dough method. In this method, the fermentation of the sponge and the development of dough takes place. The sponge generally contains 50 to 60% of the total flour to be used. It is made into a dough and then it is fermented. The fermented dough, it is again added to the remaining quantity of the ingredient, that is the remaining quantity of the flour, and again made into a dough and it is fermented. Mechanical dough method. This method of mixing the ingredient and dough formation are done by machines under controlled temperature and pressure. Second stage of bread making is fermentation of dough. The prepared dough is allowed to ferment at 30 to 35 degrees for 1 hour. After 1 hour, it is knocked back and then allowed to ferment it once again. The fermentation process is called bread proving. After proving, it is made into desired shape and placed in the bread pans and allowed it for final proving. And the last stage of bread making is, that is the third stage, is baking. After the bread is proved, egg white is coated at the top of the dough and then it is baked at 440 degrees for 30 minutes. After baking, it is cooled and then it is packed. The shelf life of the bread, it is for 3 days. The upper part of the crumb is called crust and the lower portion of the bread is called crumb. Suppose if you want to increase the shelf life of the bread, calcium propionate can be added and the shelf life can be increased. Buns. Buns are called poor man's meal. They are also like bread, but it is proved in round shape instead of placing in a bread pans. Otherwise, the same steps are followed for dough making as that of bread. Biscuits. Biscuits are one of the favorite bakery products consumed by all sections of the society. The ingredients used are refined wheat flour, sugar, shortening that is fat, leavening agent that is baking powder, and vanilla essence. Of course, nuts, colors and are optional. There are 3 steps that are followed in the preparation of biscuit, that is preparation of the dough, sheeting and shaping, and baking and cooling. In the preparation of dough, first we have to scale the dry ingredients, sift refined wheat flour and baking powder together, then add the creamed fat and sugar to make a dough into a soft one. If necessary, we can add water or milk according to the dough consistency. Second stage is sheeting and shaping. The dough which is prepared is rolled into a sheet of desired thickness. Then by using the biscuit cutters or biscuit molds, the biscuits are shaped out. Then the last stage is baking and cooling. The shaped biscuits are then baked at 170 to 200 degrees for 20 to 30 minutes. Then it is cooled and packed. But one thing we have to take care, just before placing it in the tray, grease the tray, dust it, and by leaving even space, we have to keep the biscuits for baking. Variations can also be created, that is by using soya flour, sorghum flour and any type of flour, especially millets can also be added, but the ratio should be between 15 to 20% of that refined wheat flour. Let us learn about the types of cakes and the ingredients used, also the method of preparation. Cakes are of 2 types, that is those containing shortening and those made without fat called sponge cakes. The ingredients used for the preparation of cake are refined wheat flour, egg, that is whole egg can be used, and for certain recipes egg white are used, milk, sugar, shortening agent that is fat and leavening agents. Method of preparation, that is for the batter preparation, cake batter can be prepared by 2 methods, that is quick mixing and conventional mixing method. Let us see what is quick mixing and conventional mixing. In quick mixing, all the ingredients like flour, sugar, baking powder, that is they are mixed together. These are the dry ingredients. They are mixed together. Then the flavoring agent and milk are added to the flour. Finally, it is made into a batter consistency by using the electrical mixer. Whereas in conventional mixing method, we have to weigh, that is scale all the ingredients. First, sift the refined wheat flour, baking powder together, cream, fat and sugar separately, beat the egg. Finally, add the creamed sugar and fat to the flour, add the beaten egg, stir if necessary, add milk little by little, then add the flavoring agent and grease the pan, dust it, pour the batter and bake it at 190 degrees for 30 minutes. The main difference between quick mixing and conventional mixing is, in quick mixing all the ingredients are added together and then it is mixed, whereas in conventional mixing method, dry ingredients are mixed, wet ingredients are mixed and then together we have to do. The best example for unshortened cakes are angel cakes and sponge cakes. Angel cakes, in this preparation, first we have to beat the egg white until it is frothing. Then add the cream of tartar and salt to that. Then continue beating until the desired stiffness is attained. Finally, add flour in small quantity to the egg white. Then add sugar and mix well till you get a smooth batter. Next, transfer this batter to the cake pan and bake it at 190 degrees for 30 minutes. Whereas the yellow sponge cake are prepared by using the whole egg. First we have to beat the whole egg, then add sugar and beat it again. Then add little quantity of sugar, salt and lime juice, water, and then it is mixed well. Finally add flour in small quantity and mix well till the smooth batter is obtained. Transfer the batter to the cake pans and bake it at 190 degrees for 30 minutes. Let us learn the method of preparation of cookies. Cookies are referred to as small sweet cakes. In our country, it is known as biscuits. According to the recipe adopted and the mixing method, cookies can be classified into two types, that is the batter type and the foam type cookies. The batter type cookies, it is otherwise called as drop and snapshot cookies. In this, the recipe it differs, like batter cookies is same as that of cake except only the less portion of egg, water or milk is added. Whereas in foam type cookies, meringues and sponge cookies are the best example of this. Foam type cookies are made with more percentage of egg white, which provides the structure and leavening action to the cookie. Care must be taken while choosing the ingredients. Quality ingredients and the correct method of processing should be followed to produce a quality product. The ingredients used for the preparation of cookies are refined wheat flour, butter, caster sugar, egg, salt and vanilla essence. In this method of preparation, the first method is one stage method, or else we can say it as all-in-one method. In this method of making cookie dough, all the ingredients, that is refined wheat flour, butter, caster sugar, egg, salt and vanilla essence, all these ingredients are scaled and then mixed at one batch, that is mixed all together. Then we have to follow the order of mixing. First, the dry ingredients with the leavening agent should be mixed. Then this can be sieved. Then add the liquid or wet ingredients to that. Add the flavoring. Finally, nuts or choco chips, if any, can be added to that. Creaming method. The method of making cookies is first cream the fat with sugar. Slowly start adding eggs little at a time. Then mix the flour with the raising agents and fold into creamed mixture. Rest the dough for an hour before shaping it. Then shape it and bake it. In sponge, first we have to place the eggs and sugar in a clean bowl and start whisking it. Mix the flour with raising agents and add nuts if any. Then we have to fold the flour mixture to eggs. Once it is light and foamy, just stop it. Then pipe the mixture to the mold and bake them till it is done. We'll see about macarons. Macarons are very popular type of cookies which has demand all over the year. It is composed of egg white, sugar and nuts like cashew nut, almonds and coconut. Just to reduce the cost, groundnuts can also be added. First, what we have to do is take the egg white and whip it to the foam consistency. It can be done by either hand or by the mechanical instruments like a machine. Next, add sugar and nuts gradually in the process of whipping. Finally, bake it at 375 to 380 degrees. But we have to take care because this meringues continue to bake in a tray for 3 to 4 minutes after they are removed from the oven. Then care should be taken in this time and tap the tray on the table. We can use the knife to remove these from the tray. This dry macarons can be crushed and used in cakes, icings, so that it will increase the taste, and also the broken macarons can be used in this way. The oven is one of the key equipments used in the preparation of bakery products. Let us study about the different type of ovens and their principles. Deck ovens. The ovens have an individual decks, that is, it is stacked one on the other by heating a separate element and separate control for each deck. It has a separate control for each and every deck. Whereas conventional oven, in this there is a high speed centrifugal fan fitted at the back of the oven which circulates the hot air evenly within the oven. In rotary oven, it is a cabinet which has a trolley, it is a bigger one, which has a trolley with baking trays inside, and when the trolley is put inside the cabinet with the filled trays to be baked, the trolley rotates and it enables the item to be baked evenly. The last one is the combination oven. This is the oven which combines the convection oven, proofing chamber, and a cook hold oven in a single unit. So it has both the things together. Microwave oven. Electromagnetic energy is directed into the heating cavity by producing microwaves so that it penetrates into the food and creates a magnetic field, and then it causes almost instant cooking. Equipments used in bakery and confectionery. Now, let us familiarize ourselves with the heavy equipments used in baking and in the bakery industry. The large equipments which are used are ovens, as we have seen earlier, which is used to bake breads, desserts with the medium hot air. It works on the electricity or gas. The next one is tabletop mixer. It is used for mixing batters or kneading the dough. The next one is the sorbet machine. They are designed to churn the fruit purees along with the sweetening and other flavorings. So this helps to extract the purees from the fruit. The next one is chocolate melting machine. They are used for melting the chocolates especially. The next one is the bench chillers. It works in the principle of refrigerators. It has cabinets to store creams and other dairy products. Electrical whisks are primarily used to whisk the cream. It is very important equipment. Chiller trolleys are maintained at 5-degree temperature. They are used to store desserts. Ice cream machine. They are used for making ice cream with different flavorings. Chiller are maintained at 0 degree to 3 degrees and they are used to store cakes and desserts. Freezers. They are maintained at 0 to minus 2.4 degree temperature. They are used to freeze the required ingredients. The rangers are griddlers. They are used for cooking sauces, desserts. This could be powered by gas or electricity. Apart from the large equipments, there are many small unique equipments that are used in bakery. The first one is the caramelizer. They are used to gratinate the crust, that is the top layer of the dessert. Juicers. They are used to squeeze the juice from different fruits and even from vegetables. Hand blender. It has 2 small whisks attached to it. They are used to whisk small quantities of egg and cream. Pastry kit. It comprises of pastry bag and different sizes of nozzles and other decorative equipments. Especially it is very useful for icing or decorating a baked product. Cake stand. It is used as a base to decorate the different cakes on a revolving stand. So it will be flexible. We can do it very easily. Knife kit. It comprises of bread knife, paring knife, chef knife, palette knife, icing knife and peelers. Apple peeler. It is a small device which can be fixed to the table and used for peeling the apples and pears, etc. Cutting kit. It has different shaped cutters used to cut cookies for desserts, etc. Scissors, it is used for cutting pack of ingredients and to cut the other ingredients like nuts. Box grater, it is used to grate vegetables, fruits and other ingredients. Casseroles are used to just store the pastry creams, sauces, etc. Now, let us look at some of the tools that are used in bakery industry. Whisks. They are used to whisk the egg and other ingredients. Cake tins are used to bake different kind of cakes. Measuring jars are used to measure the liquid ingredients. Measuring spoons are used to measure the dry ingredients for small quantities, for example 5 to 10 grams, even 0.5 to 1 gram also can be measured in that. Baking trays are made up of aluminium, which is used to bake breads, cookies, cakes, etc. Bread molds. These molds are of different sizes, that is, it is available in small, medium and large, and it is used to bake breads. Mixing bowls are used to mix different ingredients. Wire track are used to cool the cakes or breads after they have come out from the oven. Then only it is sent for slicing. Sieve, it is made up of small perforated mesh which is used to sieve the flour or other dry ingredients. Wooden spoons are used to stir the ingredients in a bowl so that it won't generate heat. To conclude, it is impossible to cover the depth of each and every aspect of bakery craft. This lesson insists on fundamentals of baking. Baking generally may not be associated with high achievement and self-improvement, but it can help both the kids and adults to develop valuable habits and hone, that is, sharpen the basic skills applicable to other parts of life. Hope this essential information on basic baking will be helpful to the new learners and entrepreneurs. Thank you.